Hi everyone, how are you? I'm Zaben with you. I wanted you to know that I've been working with victims of abuse. I'm using the term that everybody understands, of emotionally and mentally abused people who have been in relationship to narcissists, be it friends, be it partners, be it family members, just the spectrum of the victims of abuse. And I have come to notice that so many of the victims of abuse are light workers. They are the potential light healers of this planet, the ones that bring light to that which is darkness. However, the interesting part is that because a lot of them are experiencing deep wounds due to their narcissistic experiences, and a lot of them from childhood have grown up with these traumas, that they only attract and keep attracting that same vibration within them due to the amount of shame, guilt, self-doubt, and blame that happens within the system, right? Blocking the light worker from trusting their truth, trusting their truth, trusting what they feel, trusting their intuition, trusting themselves. So this is causing a lot of pain and suffering for the people on the planet who are here, filled with compassion, empathy, love, kindness. They're like the jewels of the planet. They are the tenderness that's on the planet. They are the grace that is here to help evolve. However, due to the upbringing, being in a family dynamics with, now they're being called immature parents, right? It has caused these light worker souls that have come in to dim their light, dim their intuition, freak the hell out about who they are, because there's this innate feeling consistently of being of service, of healing, right? Of feeling that they want to make people feel better, let alone that they have landed into a family dynamics where these family members don't have compassion and empathy due to an incredible trauma that they choose not to get out of. It's easier for them to blame and shame and guilt and, control and manipulate, rather than deal with their own self-evolution, right? And growing and releasing that pain. In saying that, and that was also part of that time, their lineage, whatever it is. In saying that, what happens is when the light worker starts their life journey in that dynamics, it's simply for that light worker to understand the pain inflicted from the narcissists here, right? Now, the problem becomes if when there's that of service deeply embedded inside, of like bringing happiness, right? Bringing light, is taken as this, I'm not experiencing it's not taken as, well, this is an experience for me to see, feel, understand the pain inflicted upon those that are with narcissists so that I can be more of service. However, we take it as our own pain and we start to become hyper-focused on helping those family members to feel better, to heal their pain, to please them, to dim our light completely, to be completely controlled and manipulated, and of course, and end up making us codependents and people pleasers, where we simply don't matter in any form. We're not good enough. We're not deserving of to be heard. We're not deserving to be appreciated. All this wonderful stuff that happened to us that just break us apart, putting our self-worth so low, we actually disassociate completely from our body, right? We don't exist to ourselves. We are insignificant, and our only purpose is the programming that we're only here to be of service to the family members and then other people that appear that are similar, with a similar vibration of these narcissists or immature parents, right? Now, what happens in that dynamics is the light worker gets trapped in the belief, right, that they don't matter, they're not good enough, they're insignificant, and they lose their light. They don't really lose their light, but what happens is they keep dimming their light, because every time they open up themselves, they get attacked by the narcissist. They get attacked by the toxic family members and friends. So what happens is so much self-doubt starts to appear. And every time the light worker starts to feel, to know their truth, like there's something wrong here, like am I going crazy? Am I not going crazy? I've repeated myself. I've been of service like so much, and still there's nothing changing within these family dynamics or within these friends. And as the light worker grows up, they believe their only worth is to heal those incredibly wounded humans, right? Like that's what they believe, that they have no say, they don't matter, nothing at all except to heal those, and to keep like dimming themselves and shrinking down and doing their best to just get them to be pleased, to be appreciated by them, to be seen, whatever it is. The problem with that is that these specific light workers, okay, need to find themselves again. They need to desperately reprogram themselves to the truth of who they are and the truth of their purpose here. It isn't to help the narcissist or their family members or their narcissistic friends or their toxic partners. It is not to help the extremely wounded, the people who do not care to change or introspect or take responsibility for their feelings, how they speak, what they've done to others. That is not their responsibility. That is not why you landed in these families. That is not why these experiences keep appearing. These experiences keep appearing because we're to learn how it feels like to be in that much pain due to an individual who refuses to take any responsibility for the pain they inflict consistently and manipulate and gaslight and, word salad all the time. To step and say, I know what that feels like. I understand the pain of confusion and self-doubt. And I'm so depleted I have no self-value. I have no self-respect. I have no dignity. I have lost my identity so much that now I need to find myself again, find who I am, learn to trust that inner voice, learn to trust it, learn to even hear it to begin with, because it's so hard to even hear it, because there's so much mental jabber saying all the things that you were told as a child, like you're not allowed to be and you're not allowed to feel and you're only here to serve me, and how dare you think that you have an opinion, how dare you think that you're allowed to have feelings outside of mine, how dare you do this or do that, or like all that stuff, right? I've got a lot of videos about narcissism. I haven't spoken about it in a while. However, the most important thing that I have to share today is your self-doubt is only a program that was filtered to you due to your child environment and the ancestral lineage of that family dynamics that you came into, to shift and change within you that for the coming generations and to heal those wounded in the past. And it's not for you to live in your self-doubt and not for you to live in constant state of depression, sadness, and anxiety, worrying about where your worth is, who you are, and how lonely life will be if you cannot be of service or help those people or be a doormat, right? That is not why you're here. And it's a lonely path once you discover that, because you start to awaken to yourself and you're suffocated by the person that you were, because self-doubt and confusion about who you are is freaking exhausting. Self-denial is the most painful thing on the planet you can experience, especially when your intuition is really there, guiding and helping you, especially when when you still love people but you're so traumatized by the pain they've inflicted on you that you don't know what to do. You're like, okay, I'll go into isolation, but then there's something else that's saying, I wish I could bring joy to this world, but I'm broken. I'm broken. And these experiences keep showing up. Relationships, you meet someone, you're like, oh, they see me. Of course not, because they're narcissists, because that self-doubt is still there. The self-doubt is still there, right? The self-denial, right? The disassociation with self completely due to the traumatizing experience that it's like that freeze response, right? The freeze response that takes over because the lash out from the narcissists are intense and painful and shaming. So a lot of light workers live in a lot of self-shame, and the shame is based on self-doubt, confusion, not trusting self, and incredibly terrified emotion of believing themselves above all else. Because the world today is still shaming the victims of abuse, especially if they're light workers and healers, and they're being taught that you can't categorize people and you can't name anybody. And now we're in a world where it's not good to like categorize anybody. So now, how else will this person know what kind of toxicity they were in their whole lives if we're also there, not allowed to say, I have been narcissistically abused and therefore I have all these traumas, right? Without feeling ashamed of saying it, because people will roll their eyes and say, well, how do you know, right? And to add to that, there are narcissists. Narcissists now are using, she narcissistically or he narcissistically abused me. And these are narcissists using the same exact language. Now, how can you tell the difference? And there are a lot of narcissistic so-called light workers pretending they're not real light workers, right? They're pretending that you will believe, oh, this is a great friend, this is a great partner. No. The only thing you have is to find a way to trust yourself and that intuitive voice deep inside. You need to heighten that voice. You need to trust that voice. You need to believe in you more than anyone else on this planet. Because it will not end. They will keep coming back and back, forth and forth in all different shapes and forms. And if you're still in the need to be seen, appreciated, and heard from your family or from anyone else, because you don't trust who you are, they will keep appearing in your life until the lesson is learned. Until you are able, above all else, how lonely it could feel, and sad it feels, and painful, because you're not used to it and you've never been allowed. Nobody has given you the freedom to choose your truth You don't even know what that looks like. And yet you're going to, against all odds, start to trust and believe in your truth. And you have to work towards that. You have to reteach yourself that, because your truth is the truth. And how do you know that? When you become more aware of you, when you spend more quality time healing your shadow self, seeing, to me, the narcissists in your lives that keep appearing are all the shadow selves come into human form. For you not to attach again, but for you to learn, to observe self. How did I feel there? So the big telltale sign is around toxic individuals, people who are sucking you, people who are not light workers, good people. You will feel a sense of shame, guilt, and blame around them. Surprise! You will feel the same way around them that you felt around your family. You will feel shrunken back. You will feel not heard, not understood, underappreciated. You will feel all those things. You will find yourself walking on eggshells. You will start to worry and panic to speak your truth. You will disassociate and just say yes to everything. And you will jump through hoops to please that person. All those are telltale signs, and you can only know them if you have sat and spent time with your true essence, with yourself, so that you can hear it within you, so that you can be aware of it within you, and then learn how to trust that voice, how to trust those feelings, because it is very clear inside. But when our trauma is covering it, when our shame and blame and guilt come in and cover that voice, we can't hear it. Because we're so busy thinking, what did I do wrong? Can I trust myself? This person doesn't feel good inside, but I don't know why. They're smiling and they're doing everything for me. And then the mind comes in and talks you out of it, because that's louder than your intuition, simply because you haven't sat with yourself long enough through the pain to know what that feels like. And once you know that, there's an entire other journey where you start to have to learn to trust that. Because I bet you anything, you have been right every single time. That voice, that feeling, that shrinking feeling, that, oh, why can't I speak up in front of this person? Right? There are those that you feel comfortable and easy, but the minute you hyper focus on a few people, and they always resemble your original trauma in personality, there's some vibration, familiarity, where you're like, this person gets me. But internally, at some point, you feel that there's some jaggedy thing that's happening. And as you start to clear that out a lot more and figure it out, what happens is that you come to realize, when you finally attune and trust that intuition, you start to, or this is what happened to me. My clairs have flared. So I'm a seer. I see, I hear, my clairs just exploded. They were always there. However, my self-doubt covered over it. My self-blame, my guilt, my shame. So I would just be like, no, go away. You're ruining my life. These intuitive insights. But as I started to trust them, listen to them, give myself some time to sit with myself and write them out and journal, I started to notice something very unique about narcissists, toxic people, unhealthy people, whatever you want to call it. That they have like this volcanic rage inside. And now how I see it is, there's this volcano that's waiting to erupt, and it bubbles up, right? And every once in a while it spurts, but it spurts and you have no idea when it will. But around this person, the reason you're on eggshells is because that eruption can happen at any given time. Because they're such angry people inside. They're so angry. They They don't have any compassion for any other. The world revolves around them and how they feel. Even if you share how you feel, it'll switch around and be like, what about me and how I feel? Look what I feel. You're making me feel this way, right? You brought up the topic now when, stop bringing up that topic or I'm going to get mad again, when that topic is you sharing how what they did has hurt your feelings because you're irrelevant, because they don't have compassion. It's hard. They pretend compassion. So it's that feeling of like a volcanic eruption inside. And I've started to see it recently so clearly. It's like there's this energy of like, touch me the wrong way, say the wrong thing, look the wrong way to them. Like you don't even know what their wrong way is unless you're highly intuitive and you can feel. And I'm sure when you grow up in that family dynamics, you really have learned to feel energy and body language and eye movements. Like you're so attuned, right? That you can tell, don't say this, don't look that way, pretend this, oh, you need to rub their ego now. Constantly rub their ego quickly. But sometimes even if you rub their ego, they still badger you because they don't like to be loved. Like if you overlove them, they hate you more. Unlike what we feel when we're loved, we love it. So in general, the reason I'm leaving this long video for you is because it is okay for the real victims to say out loud without shame that I was narcissistically abused, and I can tell all the narcissists around because it feels like your life is filled with them. And you'll have friends that come and say, well, everyone can't be a narcissist, right? But that's their problem. That's their problem. And that's the shaming that's happening now in our society. We're being shamed, right? Not to use that, the truth of that, of these dark entities, right? That are here actually to allow us to actually step out and go into our glow. We just have to recognize that, right? And I'm saying this because you need to trust yourself above all else to be able to decipher for yourself. And the way to do that is you need to start learning about you. You need to get to know you instead of getting to know them to walk on eggshells so you don't say the wrong thing so they don't explode on you. Right? You need to work on you. You need to befriend you. You need to figure out who you are. How does this body system work? How does it work? When I'm around this person, how does it feel? When I'm around this person, how does it feel? Who do I become around this, and start experimenting. Start noticing. I'm being triggered here. I'm being triggered here. Is this a trigger? Is this I'm being triggered to push through the trigger, or is this an unhealthy person? You got to start to figure you out. You got to get your soul gifts out there. And your soul gifts are there. The jewels are there, covered with the traumas. Really, I promise you. And these experiences are there to help you, walk out of that dynamics. They really are. They help you find courage, strength, believe in yourself. Comes through painful experiences because you're ripping away the old identity. You're ripping away the old identity because you cannot do it anymore. You are suffocated by your life, by the people surrounding you, and by who you've become. You're suffocated by you. Right? Suffocated from yourself. And you don't know where to go because you keep bumping into them. They keep appearing in your life. And now they're also doing healings and they're manipulating the world through that, But when you are attuned to you, you will know, these are crocodile tears. These are not real tears, right? These words aren't aligning with what I'm seeing. I hear their voice, the truth of what they're saying, that isn't aligning with the words they're saying right now. Their actions aren't going with what I feel. I don't feel safe around this person. When this person gives me the silent treatment, right, or the discard, even though they could use words like, I need to go figure myself out right now, right, because they're in the healer role, there's a kind of joy internally that's like, yay! You know, there's like, oh my God, what did I do? The guilt. But then there's this other voice, that's the true voice of, I'm free that this person is finally going to go figure out something for a week away from me. And you find yourself again. But you need to know who you are to recognize those things. You need to know who you are to recognize those things. And it's time to invest time in you rather than investing time on how to please these dark, toxic, narcissistic entities in your life. Because the journey is suffocating and stifling. If you end up alone, that's okay. Because that is your reset button. Because in your aloneness, when they empty out, and it's in your aloneness, that you will connect to source, that will glow in and connect back to you, and you will know what it feels like to connect to the divine within you, to hear that intuition. You will know. You will feel the freedom like you've never felt before, and you will not want to experience anything less than the freedom you have acquired for yourself because you trust you. Okay? I have experienced so many narcissists, and quite a few in the healing world who are also friends. And some were holding groups to help people, but they have no compassion. They don't even know compassion. They will say they don't know, they don't feel compassion, right? It's not about helping or healing. It's about controlling, manipulating, gaslighting, and feeling in power. That's the difference. Yet when you're attuned to you, you're going to know it. You're going to feel it. When you start trusting you, you're going to be like, they say all the right things. They've taken all the courses, right? They say that they've been with narcissists. Same stories. And the only thing that has your back is you. The only thing. You are the only one who has your back. All your chakras, your body, source is the only thing that has your back. And you got to connect to that. That is your new friend. You are your new best friend. Source is your new best friend. You are now going to spend time befriending yourself. Getting to know, who is this person that I've been neglecting and disassociating with for everybody else? I'm going to get to know me. I really hope this was helpful because this is so important. There's so much in here that I shared and that I could take and put into different videos to give more clarity on each one because that's a lot of information. However, I really want you to be very clear, light workers, who I work with most of all, right? Don't dim your glow for anyone. Start knowing what your glow is. You need help, I'm here. This is what I do, right? Send me a message, PM me, whatever it is. Get on my website. Whatever it is, you need help and service in that aspect, get a hold of me. Okay? I love you all deeply. My heart goes to you all. And I'm here to light up the light workers, for them to reclaim themselves back. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Please hit subscribe, like, comment, share this. Please share this. And if you are interested in more things regarding light workers and toxicity or narcissist, whatever, or the shame around saying narcissist, please leave me your comments, leave me your questions, and I'll offer that for you. All right, take care. Love you. Bye.